Well, Rogue Legacy 2 has arrived and spent a good while in early access. The original Rogue Legacy is really fun, so the sequel had a lot to live up to. I'm really happy to report that Rogue Legacy 2 is a worthy sequel, a decent roguelike among a crowded field, one that benefited from a good period of early access. Rogue Legacy 2 managed to build on what made the first game great, and then adds another layer of incentives for players to keep coming back for more, for another run. So you got rewards, upgrades and gold almost bursting out of the screen, and the developers really know where to get you and how to get you because the progression in the game feels so good, it's rewarding, it's fun and memorable, and it's going to have you coming back time and time again. Well, the premise of the game is you're invading the kingdoms of powerful beings called the Estuaries, and you defeat them one after the other. And given this is a roguelike, you're going to probably die a lot. But instead of you coming back for more, it's actually your children sent in to do the dirty work. So randomly generated traits occur in the bloodline of the family, and that gives a nice explanation for the random roguelike mechanics. Some are good traits that are going to help you in battle, some are just funny, or you could just end up farting like a trooper. In the improvement from the original, you're motivated to check out the lesser known parts of the family tree. For example, sometimes in the gene pool it can be a little bit spoiled, meaning runs are going to be tough. Someone might be scared of height, or a warrior might not like fighting, or sometimes someone might be blind. These randomly generated traits in your character do have the potential to be fun, although occasionally they can hinder, but with a little twist of fun too. And the game does a good job of rewarding you for taking the lesser able paths of the gene pool, and you might be incentivized with a whole bunch of gold. The objective of the game is to make your way through a procedurally generated map, kill the bad guys and ultimately take down the bosses at the end. There's all kinds of enemies that will try and get in your way, like skeletons, eyeballs and other nasties as well. There's definitely environments in the game like castles, snowy mountains, and you've got dragons' lairs. The idea is to get to the end, beat the boss, and get hold of the precious heirloom. Well, the game does a great job of propelling you forward, so the game doesn't feel like a massive chore from getting from A to B. You've got the heirlooms, they're a major motivation, as they are permanent platforming abilities that allow you to access the new biomes. For example, the double jumps, the mid-air dashes, they're all things we've seen before in similar Metroidvania games, but here they feel really, really good, and it's a real polished experience. As well as allowing you to move ahead and getting to the new biomes, going backwards and retreading paths you've already been to, and it's also really, really rewarding. Well, loot is one of the ways that Rogue Legacy 2 keeps you coming back, and the rewards are plentiful, as well as the animations, the audio tingling and the endorphins at the same time. Open up chests and defeat the enemies to get gold, then spend the gold on runs at the manor, which is your hub space home to NPCs, and also the permanent upgrades as well. All of these are designed to make your life much easier when it comes to the runs. You've got loads of upgrades and plenty of options, including health, magic and more. Focus gold into upgrades, and all of a sudden you've got more upgrades that are going to appear. You've got new classes to unlock as well. The progression is just done really, really well. We're talking of classes, you've got plenty of options in the game as well. The archer is a good all-rounder with a decent range from the arrows, plus the ability to hide with the canopy, allowing you to block incoming projectiles as well. You can also dip your arrows in poison, making them even more deadly, and you've got the Dragon Lancer with fire and explosive punches, plus you've got the Gunslinger 2 which can shoot powerful shots, and they can explode things with their dynamite sticks. Add everything up, the classes, the progression, the mana and the upgrades, Rogue Legacy 2 does a great job of keeping you engaged and never outstaying its welcome. It's a game that's easy to pick up and play, but you've got real depth in here if you are looking for it. There's rare weapons to find, different weapons and upgrades to collect, which apply different effects to your damage output. You've got magical instruments, and I'm sure loads of secrets that I'm yet to find. There's just something in here for everybody. Then you've got the relics. They cost resolve to equip, which is linked to your equipment weight. So before you go into a run, you have to weigh yourself. The heavier your armor, the less resolve you're going to have to spend on relics. That's going to affect how much HP you have. So you've got the blacksmith armor sets, chainmail sets, magic runes. I could go on, but I think it's just best to jump in and give it a go for yourself. Rogue Legacy 2 sure does have some options, a lot of them, and also many ways to play. Although the game manages to ease you in, it doesn't overwhelm you, and you slowly unfurl a bunch of options to get you in and get you hooked and keep you coming back. So the game clearly has benefited from a long time in early access. You've got the other big hits that have used the process to great effect, namely another roguelike called Hades, and Rogue Legacy 2 has the potential to be a great game if it can find an audience. Hopefully it can, with the release calendar being very sparse at the moment, so I'd love to see this game get some more eyes on it, and hopefully a very dedicated fan base. Well, that is it for now for Rogue Legacy 2. Really good game. Definitely recommend jumping into that one. And it's on Xbox Game Pass. So no excuses really if you're already subscribed to that service. And as always, thank you so much for watching or listening. Hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon.